Action.
It's Monday night. We're back and we're black.
He's really black.
Voila. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good night. It is the Horace Towns, host of the Black Super Friends podcast, here for another episode of Monday Night Raw, which is live. As you can see, live TV never fails, man. So before I start, what's up, Jeffrey Leday, Cole Red checking in, man. Um, Tonight, I want to first off tell everyone that I'm recording from a new area, so maybe some difficulties a little bit, but we will be back up to 100 soon. America, America, America. It feel like it's been a whole month, even though it's been a whole week since we last been on BSF Monday Night Raw. Um, After our show last week, we went right into another moment in history where the whole country paused, and it seems like it's over and over and over, just different police, different victims. And this time, we were waiting on the verdict from the George Floyd trial, the George Floyd murder trial, which should say Derek Chauvin. Last week during that trial, with all of America on pause, the jury found this man guilty. So I say to you guys, we got a guilty verdict, but right after that, you had another shooting, and then you had another shooting, and then we had different incidents around the country. So we got the guilty verdict for which we all saw was murder, or we all felt was murder. But okay, we got a guilty verdict. What's next? We have been down this road before, and if it wasn't Sterling, it's George Floyd, it's Dante Wright. I just really don't know what to say at this point other than just setting this topic up for discussion because the murder before summer, if we're not talking about Chicago, we're talking about even South Florida. So I'm going to ask my Black super friends to discuss the Derek Chauvin guilty verdict and what it means to you. What should we be looking for? What did that moment in history, did it change you at all? I'm going to ask Super Mario first.
Just another day in America to me. I hate to be a pessimistic one on the whole cast, but I try to be realistic and understand that every day I see all these shootings and all this kind of stuff. It's almost kind of like I perpetuate this in my head that one day my little boy gonna grow up and I have a little girl who's in college right now. So I constantly had a conversation with them to just go to jail. Like, don't resist, don't fight, just go to jail. I don't give a damn. Don't argue. Have your day in court. You didn't kill nobody, and even if you did, your daddy coming. But then in some cases, I start seeing that they're not even giving you a chance to go to jail. They're just shooting right off top. And in that case, then I have to say that, it's almost like the serenity prayer. I can't worry. It's almost in this world, I can't worry about the stuff I can't control right now. And as a whole, I've taken the approach, me as Mario is, I want with all my heart for us as a people to get it right, but I can't control that. I want with all my heart with all the people I know to get it right, but I can't control that. But one thing I can control is the people who I have, who I can reach out and tangibly touch. I can be in their ear constantly, and my household. So I've taken the approach to lead by example and to teach and to walk a thin line out here by myself and with my family to say, hey, we got to do better. We got to avoid the police, and we got to always be in the right as you can, because we can't control and stop it, but it is what it is, because the police, it's no crime to shoot blacks, because of Chris bring it up almost every show, until the police pension, until their livelihood is at stake, it's never going to be sought after or looked at wrong to shoot black people. And no matter how you sugarcoat it, no matter how you paint the picture, they've seen it. A police officer's first step to de-escalating any problem with a black person is shoot the kid. And it's only because there's no punishment. It's not looked at as taboo. You're not shunned upon. And at the end of the day, you're not looked at as a bad person until Black Twitter attacks you. But if Black Twitter's not your friends, then who cares? So, I can talk about this all day, but then it just being the dead horse, and I'm tired of stuff getting killed. So I'm gonna pass it on to Zay.
Man, me and you must have been thinking alike because I definitely was like back to business for America. I mean, no sooner than they got a conviction on all three murder accounts, three more black people fell at the hands of law enforcement. So unless that whole system is, I know they say defunded, but it needs to be reprimanded some type of way. Chris said touch the pension. Definitely when you touch pockets, behaviors change. And the behavior needs to change. It's blatantly being shown. Nothing is really differentiated between now and then, other than the video quality. We get to see it in color and in high def, how they are killing us and have been killing us for forever. I don't know who we need to form with to come up with ideas or to get our foot in the places that's going to make an impression so that we can get a change for our people. But something got to change. But definitely, like Mario said, all we can do is kind of just teach some of the things that we were taught growing up, antagonizing the police because we have a disdain for them. So, we're calling them everything other than what we need to be calling them, ain't making the situation any better for us. But again, it's like we don't know what else to do because they are annihilating us. And that's exactly what they're doing. And nothing is happening. I think that was qualified immunity, you said, Chris?
Yeah.
That they get every time they kill us. And 9 times out of 10, anything that they deem threatening or they're in fear of their lives, bang, pistol shot. So that's all they really kind of get. I don't see where anything's changing. And that was 3 bodies and counting. I think someone got shot again today. I heard that they let 10 shots off. Officer let off 10 shots on another individual, and I think it was a girl again. So it's not even just us, fellas. It's our people. I don't know what to do. What you got, Chris?
Well, I think that it's sad that in America it's sad for our community, I say, that we celebrate this. Like we celebrate this as a victory when this is something that was done in plain sight, on video, and we're in a celebratory mood right now. And it makes no sense when this is supposed to be normal. Cop kill a black man unjustly. He should go to jail. This shouldn't be something to celebrate for, and that lets you know where we at in this country. And after all this time, I think that we have to be careful with this because we're celebrating. And I even heard the family saying that, well, we can breathe again, justice is served. But I don't think we have a fair assessment of justice. Justice is when they implement laws that protect you from this. You know what I'm saying? That's justice. That has nothing to. We didn't get justice. We have no laws that protects us from this. I speak about qualified immunity every time, and what people may not understand about qualified immunity is when you're able to sue the officer for violating your civil rights. In qualified immunity, or while having qualified immunity, you can't prove it. You can't sue them and get no retribution for it. So that's the issue that we have with this situation. I just think it's sad that we're in a situation where we're celebrating this. You know what I'm saying? I was watching the Breakfast Club interview with Dr. Umar, and he highlighted that there's even the George Floyd crime bill hasn't been passed, and the Asian crime bill has been passed to protect them. Transgenders have had specific laws to protect them. Hardy always talks about organization, and I'm all for that. But I don't know I don't know what the answer is here. But I do believe that we have to, at some point, we have to fight back. And I'm just sorry about it. We have to organize. throughout the years, the Black Panthers has been villainized, but they was there specifically to protect their community. And I think it's time that us as black men, maybe we start to get back into that, protecting our community. But really, I mean, I know we trying to get to another topic, but I really want to talk to Horace and Demario, because you guys have black sons. I have a black daughter. Now, recently we've seen that it is a threat against them also, but you guys have, historically it's been black men. You guys have black sons, man. So I would love to hear, how do you feel? Like, I know Harden just said he tells his son, he's going to tell his son a certain thing, but how do you feel? Does it make you scared when you see things like that happen? Black son, you have a young son, and Horace, you got 3. So I like to hear from y'all, man, honestly.
Well, I will start off by saying, my son turned 18 last week, man, and for the first time, my son, I probably weirded him out, man. He he was going to celebrate his birthday with his friends. They were driving down to Lauderdale, and I kind of turned into a mama for a moment. I gave him a hug, and I actually gave him that conversation. I talked to him about that, and I mean, I went over and over and over, like, the scenarios and whatnot, and to the point where I think he understood, because this generation is fearless, but I don't think they really have the aptitude to really understand that there's an agenda against black men. My son at 18, I hugged him, and that was an emotional moment for me.
Oh, sure.
Tyler and Mari, like Tyler, he's really got it, but your kids are different. Tyler knows how to maneuver, and the baby boy is a little different, So, but being concerned for them all the time is something, man, that now I can relate to how my mom and my parents felt, because they may remember we had an incident years ago when a policeman, I don't even remember what, policeman pulled up on us on 30th Street. They don't remember that, and pulled a gun on me.
Yeah,
and
he had a hard on for you.
And he was drunk. He was drunk on the job. And then when we called 911, he returned. He responded to the call himself. Dude could have killed me. Like, I closed my eyes, a dude pulled out a gun on me on 30th Street in front of our house. And we just out there chilling like we always do, man. But, I always say this, being militant, we got to realize there's an agenda against Black America. If you ever go back and look at COINTELPRO, there's a fear of a black planet. And I was really insulted. I know we go back and forth about Biden and the Trump thing, but I was so insulted when I seen that Asian hate crime bill get passed, because Black America's asked to come out and vote. And I can't recall the last time Black America got any respect legislatively anywhere. And it's just that makes me so angry to say, like, man, this man spit in our face again, and Asian hate. But not to go on, man, I really look at the original police. Police was pretty much slave catchers, by design. And to be honest, I think we're not too far from that. And last off, I think we got to reverse our statement. We play basketball, we play any sport. I think we've taken over. I think that we need to get away from telling our kids not to join the police force, because we ain't got enough black people to patrol our neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
I have a respect for the dudes we graduated with, because they are the ones we reach out to when something happens. You know what I mean? We need more black officers in our community. I'm tired of them putting these same scary white officers in black communities. They won't speak to you. They treat you like you're criminals. And the solution is we need to have more black officers in the community, and we need to get them up in rank. And hopefully we can kind of purge some of that stuff out of the system. But that's my take, man. I don't want to rant on. I think we need to do that. And to be last off, Chris, it is going to take somebody that snap.
But we got to stop. We got to stop saying scary, because this ain't fear. This is calculated murder. This is not.
It is. But until they hit home, Chris, nobody cares about nothing until they hit home. Till you get one of these dudes that go off, then you're gonna get somebody that let's go to the table.
And the sad thing is we have got legislation. We got legislation that protects them if we protest. We
Who
got
did that?
we got legislation that if they're driving in a car, like you know how protesters we block the road, they protected from running us over. So we have gotten some legislation from this, but it's the legislation that basically stops us from being able to react to the bullshit. So that's crazy to me. But Hardy, let me talk to you because you have a little kid and
First, I just want to make sure we ain't remiss by overlooking this one point that the Asian crime bill was 94-1. That's the biggest vote one sided yes that has been in like over 30 some years. The Democrats and the Republicans in the Senate always bust each other and go at each other's throat. But right now, remember, Kamala Harris is the head of the Senate and supposed to be the deciding vote and supposed to be the whip for the Senate. Remember, that's what we got our sister in there for, to control all these votes and to do everything, because now we got control of the House and the Senate. So if any bill that need to be passed, remember now, this is supposed to be the time to pass all our bills. See, I remember all this speech they gave us, and now here we go. Yeah. Here we go again. And that's why when people say I'm not optimistic, because I'm realistic. And I understand that from the beginning, most politicians have to be forced into doing something. Mm-hmm. We have nobody lobbying for us and to save our lives. We have a whole bunch of people talking, a whole bunch of people yelling, a whole bunch of people protesting, but we don't have no people who are billionaires back with money coming together saying, hey, it's okay if you never take me out for it's okay if you never take me out for TV. It's okay if you don't invite me to your shows. But for right now, I'm going to use this $1 billion that you can't take, put it behind this, and you're going to do this, or we're going to pull all blunt. Because not to ramble on, Stacey Abrams single-handedly gave that election to Biden and Kamala. Mm-hmm. And now look what's happening in Georgia. I stay in Georgia. So now look what's happening to our voters' rights when we went out and voted. But to answer your question, Chris, because that could go on and on, I think, never in my life, I always wanted a son. And I wanted a son because I was so scared of all the fears and the stuff that come to girls. Growing up, you're like, man, I got to have a girl. A dude might take advantage of her. She might get pregnant. She might become a stripper. She might become a prostitute. There's so much stuff I used to be like, man, if I could just have a son, it's easy. I'm a man. I can teach him how to be a man. But now, I never thought that I'd have a boy and be nervous. And now I got a son, and I hold him so much, and I always tell him I love you so much, and because I'm like, man, this is crazy, because in the time I always wanted a son, I never thought this world I feel most safe with my daughter in the world now than I do my son. And that's my daughter's 18. My son is about to be 2. So in the switch of 16 years, my whole life have changed. And what now I feel more confident saying, if we have another daughter, we have another child, I almost want a daughter, just so I can not have that pressure on me to think that every time my son walk out the door, that he can be mowed down. And to think that as a father with multiple children, think about the pressure of all these kids who died of their father not being able to react because he still got to be a father for those other kids. Mm-hmm. Like, I think about that kind of stuff. Like, because all of us be like, man, if you kill my son or I'm go out there and shoot up, Yeah, but then what happened to your other kid?
What happened to your other kid?
You know what I'm saying? What happened to your wife if you married? What happened to all the other? So it's just like, I never thought, to answer your question, Chris, that I would be this concerned about having a son. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just like in a point where, like, man, I gotta really, I'm telling you, my son too, and I'm preparing speeches. I'm preparing like talks right now at 2, just to tell him, like, we stay in a mixed neighborhood. I work hard to stay here, but now I almost feel safer being around all black people now, because he could be at the net. It's like, I don't know, man. It's just like, I thank God that I do have God that even lean on.
But to be honest with you, dog, the way things are going, you gotta fear for your daughter now with the situation. You can talk about it with the 2 girls.
Oh yeah. See, and that's crazy. But you know, and I say, as I see these kids getting mowed down and everything like this, sometimes you know, a lot of times people bring up the fact that the police killing our kids. But right now, I want to say like you know, the little 7-year-old girl, I want to say her name, Jasleen Adams, they got shot in
Chicago.
the McDonald's you know parking lot. And I was like, man, I first heard about that. I'm like, man, what's wrong with these dudes? Growing up in the streets, you know, a dude gonna get a pass every time he have his kids or his family with him. Like that was just talk. That was just a thing known from the beginning of time. And then I seen the little boy get shot in Miami. Once again, after a party, after a kid's party. So I'm like, well, man, these little kids out here, because that's who's doing it. Most of the young boys. I don't want to say kids, young dudes out here just don't care. So I said, well, maybe it's the music. Well, maybe it's us as men, because I like to take accountability. So I said, are we as men doing enough to pour back into our young men while they so misguided? But then I see all the time, I seen the video of the little girl's daddy reason why all this happened. So I see the little girl daddy is in some kind of gang, and he went and peed on the another
grave.
gang dead homie's grave. Screamed out F them, F their crew, and all this kind of stuff like this. And I said, what kind of guy? Then you ride around with your daughter. So it's okay if you want to be a knucklehead. But bro, you go piss on somebody's grave who dead. And you think that y'all living out here, they gonna just say, oh, they go your daughter and not shoot. So it just perplexes me. It's like we want to blame Biden, we want to blame Kamala, but bro, it's like Chris said, where do we even start? Because bro, we can blame them all we want to, but the police killing us because we don't value us. Then we don't value us because I see so many people out there like, oh, it was not. But who told him, hey, bro, you're not letting my daughter get in the car with you. My granddaughter's not getting in the car with you. No, it's nowhere in here, bro. You want to piss on graves and be a gangster? You out there on your own. You be a gangster. If I can't do nothing for you, you're not bringing that to me. Like, when is those, you know what I'm saying? When are those parents going to come back into effect when it's like, bro, if you want to be a thug, not in my house. Because now it seems like everybody is okay with everybody's parents until their son get died. Then he was Jesus Christ of Nazareth walking the earth. And everybody should be prosecuted for your son when your son brought this on and caused this so many times. So I want to ask y'all how y'all feel, and what do y'all feel like us as men in the community that care? What can we do? I'm gonna start with Horace. Cause I feel like you the politician of the group, so your words might be more impactful.
I want to say this, man, and I asked you guys before, and Chris, it was actually Chris that gave me the backlash, which actually surprised me, because, bro, I volunteer on the superintendent's task force for education with the school board. I've sat on so many. I don't even know how I started, but I volunteer my real hours volunteering. You know what I mean? When there's stuff that needs to be done, whether it's a park advisory, people don't know how important that stuff is. Or whether it's even a PTA meeting for the school where they trying to ask y'all what kind of new school you want in your community, what after school programs. And I asked you guys one day, I said, man, are we too far gone? I asked y'all that, and I got some of y'all came at me like, we can't think that way. I think it was Chris, like, can't think that way, but it really is a lot, man. Sometimes I really, for somebody that's in the community, it's a lot sometimes, man, because you doing so much for a certain group, but then you see like a certain group that just seem like I don't know, man. I probably end up rambling, Mario, because there's so many issues that we battle in this community. And I don't even know if it's a question of where to start, because the stuff that we know as a person, like I know that I've been through it and I'm here, me trying to teach people what to do and, hey, this is what you should do, and trying to help them. It's like you go in one ear and out the other. So I just don't know, man. Home ownership is important right now in our city. We've been telling people for years to buy their homes, buy something. And now the community changed. Ain't no it's gentrified. No, it's done. Yeah. Now everybody like, oh Lord, they moving in, they taking over our city. Who was they? It was your city. You didn't do what you needed to do. You know what I mean? It's just so many issues. I want to touch it because I end up rambling and I might rant on. So I'll give it to Chris.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. I don't care about no sponsors. I don't care. I'm gonna speak candidly here.
We know that.
We have
Take
a
the gloves
bunch of
off.
We know
we have
that.
a bunch of fuck ass, sorry ass excuses for fathers. We have two sorry ass excuses for fathers. We got the sorry ass excuse for a man that yes, the cop shot your daughter, but you the one your puss ass can't stop a fight between some teenagers. And then when the cops did show up, you join into the fight to kick the little girl that your daughter pushed down. Your puss ass can't even control the shit. And then the other dude that's pissing on graves, and then you traveling with your daughter. You know better than that. We all hustled out here, and we never put kids in the car with us. We never rode with the stuff on us. That's close to this shit. And then these sorry ass excuses for men both got their daughters killed. We supposed to protect our kids, especially our goddamn daughters. So these sorry ass niggas that's around here getting their goddamn kids killed. Man, I don't have no respect for that. I don't have no goddamn respect for that. And I don't care about no sponsors. I don't care about no cussing. That's some sorry sucker ass shit. You both are the reason your goddamn daughters are murdered right now. You guys are the reason. Yes, the cop pulled the trigger. Yes, the ops pulled the trigger in the McDonald's situation. But your puss ass got your goddamn daughter killed. Sorry ass nigga. There you go, man.
You're right. You are 100%. But it still starts. As you were saying, Mario, how it kind of starts is across the board. There's so many ways and so many avenues that things like this kind of perpetuate itself. Us as men didn't get taught properly. Not all of us. Some of us did. But those are the ones who are raising sons that are doing the right things. The ones that are in the hood that we see and come in contact with are so stuck on, because we didn't have a father, being a friend versus that leader, that protector that they should have been. So case in point, I just look back at scenarios that I see. I got a friend who hustle, but he tries to teach his son to get a job. How? My nigga, he sees you hustle every day. He doesn't know how, and you don't know how to tell him or teach him. So you definitely got to take stock inside yourself to figure out, what am I actually being a conduit to? What am I teaching this young man, this young woman that's coming up watching me? Because we sat on here and we had an emotional segment about things that we wish we had growing up and what we didn't get. But that ain't the things that I see guys nowadays trying to impart into their kids. Women too, not just guys. Because even though the situation is touching on the young men that's out here doing these dumbass things, the little girls that you're raising like them, like the stuff that they doing. What you teaching them? You feel me? The value. So I think we got to look at this thing both ways. Got to be mindful what we're teaching and what we're allowing. I got to speak because I cut hair. I see a lot of young men that come to me. The mothers talk to me. They even talk to me. I got several parents that they allow their kids to curse. Okay, cool. We couldn't do that growing up. But I understand that they want them to express themselves. You see what I'm saying? But then we also have women and mothers or fathers who know that their kids are toting pistols and they're okay with that. That's not cool. I understand you don't want to get such and such killed, but why don't you teach such and such that the actions that he's doing is what's going to get him killed, i.e. piss on an op's grave. What you thought was going to happen? Come on, man. And then, like you said, we didn't know about the father being involved when we initially saw the young lady get annihilated by the police officer. Then to hear that whole story is heartbreaking because she really was defending herself, but that wasn't the right act to do at that time. It cost you.
That father should have stepped in, Zay. That father
should have
stopped that.
in.
He should have stopped that shit, man. This is a
But
little girl fight, man.
But that comes from what we just said. The knowledge. You know what I'm saying? He don't even know, probably as a man, how to go about doing it. He over there egging it on. Like you said, pussy ass nigga, you should have been broke that up. That shouldn't even got to that limit, but it did.
Never got that far, man.
Hey, everybody gonna kill the sponsors.
I think it just starts. I just think that it just starts with the tool is the knowledge. You understand? Look at you. Don't be that person blaming the black guy. Curse words been flying. You holler the black man name. Don't be that guy.
Listen,
but definitely,
I'm about to go right up Mia Malcolm Alley with this because I'm gonna give her what she's looking for this week. So last week at Smoke, I was at the cigar bar, blah blah blah, ain't giving no free promotion. Somebody, as soon as I walked in, say, "Oh, what you doing here?" I'm like, "What you mean?" It was just a murder on 13th Street, yada yada yada. She was like, "Why you here? Why y'all ain't out there?" I said, "What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You know, the police out there, yada yada." And then she went on and on and on. And the reality is, this person here lost a child, never cared about it until it happened to them. But years ago, fell out with me because I used to see them, the kid drop them off to work and see them in the community ride through. You know how young cats is. First, I see the tattoos, I see the gold, I see the face tattoos, and I'm talking to her as a friend, like, listen. And we had an argument one day. I said, if you love your son, I said, you killing him right now. What do you mean? I said, you got a grown, you go to work every day, but you got a grown man, 25. He stayed with you. You don't pay no rent. He hustling. And I said, from what I'm hearing, he out here robbing people. I'm telling you, it's not going to go far at all. That young man was murdered, and she's been broken ever since. But there's a lot of mothers like that either subconsciously want them to, the son to be like the daddy, or they just lonely. I don't really get it. But there are a lot of coward ass kids out here. There's a lot of coward ass men out here. A lot of dudes we know ain't grew up. Like Chris talking about the scenario, you know how many stuff we've seen in the local area where there's a fight and you see a bunch of men with a camera, holding the camera up just so they can go live and get the views. And I speak out about that all the time. It was a shooting last month. It's an old dude. He's 30, about 40 something. He got a camera. It's a shooting, but he'd rather hold the camera and talk on live. Yeah, it's going down. This is where it's at. That's why people don't respect us, man. But I really wanted to talk to that. Like they were saying with the mothers, like it's cool for the kids to curse and all this. No, it's not, man. No, it's not. And to be honest, I hear people say there's so many sorry ass dudes out here, but you're laying up with them. If you require more, we'll be more.
Yeah.
If you said this is what I'm looking for, a dude is gonna have the ones that want to be better will be better. There's a lot of dudes we know. There's a lot of dudes we know. We didn't have. Look at us. We didn't have, but there's a lot of dudes that choose to know they can do better and they ain't gonna do it. They ain't got it in them. And those that's reproducing, and that's one of our biggest problems in the community. I know a person who, like they said, he hustled. My daddy hustled. I never knew about it. It was a respect for family. He wanted me to be better. I see jokers out here standing on the block with their kids. Now that's a national tragedy. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
But what I will say, I applaud you for having the nuts to even say that, because half of us, or some of us men, I say, we won't even say that. We don't have enough nuts to even check the woman because we don't want to piss her off. We don't want her to get mad. She might cuss us out. We scared of what she's gonna say. So I applaud you for even being able to say that to that woman, because that's what we need. We need more men with nuts to say, "Hey, look, you're messing up. You're messing up. You need to do better with this child."
I think Chris, what he was so eloquently saying, his rant, is the profanity out is like spot on, because at the end of the day, what Chris is saying is like the whole point of being a man is having nuts. Like that's what separates. Like, so if you don't have that, if you don't have the gall to say, bro, this might make her upset. This little boy might not want to hear this. You might not want to, but it's my duty. See, it's not an option. It's my duty. Like, people died for me to have the right to say, hey, bro, don't do this. And respectfully, like, we understand that, bro. You know how many little boys, I'm saying, if I walk up to you and be like, bro, come on, bro. Hey, no disrespect to you, bro, but it's like grown women in here. Can you please stop cussing in the store? I have approached dudes like that, and they be like, my bad, big homie.
Yeah.
You know, you can check somebody without checking them. But see, so many people are so selfish. See, the men of our generation right now are so worried about still trying to live this life like they 20, because 30 is not the new 20,
Yes,
and 40 is not the new 30. 30
No, it
is
ain't.
30, 40 is 40, and 50 is 50. And when we start that lie and understand you are grown, at 40, you're closer to death than you are to life, to being a baby.
Right.
Be grown. It's okay to step away from childish things and say, you know what, I've outgrown this. But see, what happened is you still trying to catch up on everything you missed, and then now you like, you know what? I want to still hang. You want to be friends with little guys instead of being OGs. You want to be the cool guy in the neighborhood instead of saying, "Oh, here come preaching ass Mario. Here come Mario, man. Pull your pants up. You know he finna say something." Yeah, see, that's what I want to be. I want to be old enough to be the guy who say, "Come on, man, turn that music down when you get in front of my house." See, no matter how much I like the non music, I know on some streets you turn the music down because it's gonna be a man that's like, "Come on, bro, turn the music down." But see, now the dude 50 back out the driveway with the music louder than you, pants sagging, lower than yours, tattoos on his forehead too. So now it's like, bro, it's the blind leading the blind.
And that's what you're looking up to. So
Right.
as you were talking about with the nuts, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's afraid to not be cool anymore. Like you said, still being relevant. Where we had guys that would just tell us straight up and down what it was. And a lot of these new dudes aren't doing that because they see that little J-Bo over there getting money now, and I want to be cool with little J-Bo. It don't matter that he snitched on this person because you ain't even taught him that wasn't cool. You feel me? You just want to be cool because he got money. You know what I'm saying? Or something to that effect. And somewhere in there, they've been lost. We had dudes like Stanley, don't get on my grass. Like you said, turn that music down. And women too. Hell, I was a dude with a car with a whole bunch of music. And I come through the neighborhoods and shake houses, and you think that them ladies or the men then come out and say, hey, man, when you come around here next time to see whoever turn that shit down. Damn. Okay, yes, sir. But the young dudes nowadays cursing, disrespecting women in front of dudes, and these grown-ass men that we're talking about will sit there and let this fly. Won't even check, won't even say, hey, better not let me hear you talk to another woman like that ever again.
See, some of the little homies, I seen this quote the other day say, some of y'all dudes 40 got big homies that's 20.
Yeah.
And it's because, bro, okay, you tried to do it in the streets. That didn't work for you. Go get a job. Go get a job. Go get a job. Go get a trade.
Go get a trade.
Go create a business. Bro, get out of the way. Because how could you tell, like you said, Jay, how could you tell? Because I see a lot of my homeboys do that. You're right. They tell me, oh, I'm telling my son don't do this. My son do this. My son don't do that. Bro, but you doing it. So he love you. A boy's first, I see how my son look at me. I see one time I burped out loud. He looked at me and said, like, because then laughed. Because he imitates me. Everything I'm doing, he do. I know Tootie see the same thing. Like your son, you are the first superhero. So how can Superman tell his son, don't put on the cape when you flying through the city every night? It's not going to work. He's going to envision putting on that same cape his daddy did. So it don't matter what you say, it matters what you do. And we got to lead by example, and we got to start holding our homeboys accountable
too.
Bro, that's fly what you're doing, bro. Don't do that in front of your son, bro. I don't care. Well, me and you don't have to be homeboys. I'm not going to sit here and let you do stupid stuff in front of that little boy because I love him too.
Right.
Exactly.
They're going to do 100% of everything that you do wrong and 80 of what you do right is what I was going to say to hinge on what you were talking about. My bad, Chris. But yeah, 100% of what you do wrong.
With dudes that don't take care of their kids. I can't even hang out with them. We don't speak the same language. Because I'm going to always be saying something. I'm going to be saying something about my daughter over and over again to you. And that shit probably aggravates you. And then I'm not hearing about yours. Because if we cool, dog, I want to know about your little kid. I want to do something for your kid. You know what I'm saying?
I learned that they take themselves out of your life. Because when you start talking about your kid and everything like that, guess what happened? They don't have nothing to say. Then eventually they walk off or do. Then it's like, man, I don't want to go over there. All them niggas talking about is this. You're not doing that, bro. You still living like we 15, bro. You have the same. You have the same life we had when we were 17.
Mm-hmm.
The same
at 40.
Like
at 40 though.
The same as that. But we got to move on from this because we can talk on this. We need to have a mini with a whole bunch. I see Lee might go by. We got to get a bunch and have a men's circle one time and have this kind of public forum for men.
Right. Hey, you know what, man? But the difference in our circle is we took on that charge. That's the difference. A lot of people have babies, but they ain't taking on that responsibility. We want to be fathers. Hell,
Right.
I got 3 grown kids, and I just came to y'all like, bro, I'm battling. You know, it used to be in the days they 18, put them out. Now I'm battling. Like, okay, I still need some. I see 1 or 2 still need me. I still need to put that develop. But I come to my partners right here on this thing and be like, hey, Chris, hey, I need to talk about blah blah blah. Oh, Mario, ooh boy, I don't know. You know why? Because that's where that accountability come in.
Iron sharpen
But I
iron too.
would, I want to again. I want to thank you again because just for you doing this, man, I reach out more. Like I reach out and say, and when I have an issue, I think, wait a minute, hold on, Horace knows something about this. Wait a minute, Zay knows something about. Let me call Mario. Like, so I'm just putting this together. You know, I probably wouldn't do that before. I mean, I probably would, but it's just like second nature now. Like I got an issue. I got probably like 2 or 3 homeboys that knows exactly what to do. Let me talk to them, and I can get through it. So I appreciate you
It's
putting this on this, man.
Yeah.
It's been very helpful.
Chris
I
is
think
good, and it's normal. I mean, it's something that's not normal, but it needs to be introduced as normal. Iron sharpening iron. That way, you're getting a lot of like-minded guys thinking, and you'll be able we'll be able to weed out the ones who are gonna be the leaders and the ones that we're gonna be telling what to do, because they're lawless. I mean, they're lost, and we get together and we try to formulate ideas to make each other better, not gossip, not talk about the what's happening. Hell, half of the stuff that's going on nowadays, we kind of pride ourselves on not even knowing, because hell, we so busy in our craft or with our families that we don't know what's going on out in the streets any longer. You see what I'm saying? But we're talking to each other about how to progress, and this is needs to be a normal conversation amongst men, all of them, not
Right.
just us. You feel me? But
well, first off,
definitely to putting it together.
we're a dying breed in this damn wicked society right now. Straight black men, fathers,
I'm talking
and that
about straight ruler,
straight black men.
straight down the middle. I'm talking about they never experimented. I'm talking about don't want to go into locker rooms. Like I'm talking about that straight all the way
Yeah,
down.
yeah. I'm in and around. If
Hey,
we do a roll call, it would be scary. I think the validation from the show was when Ivory came on and was saying how big, again, 4 black men, like real black men, pretty much giving a blueprint. I get encouraged when I watch Lee My Goldwire, the shows and the segment he's doing. So we starting to see some real stuff flow out from that. You know what I'm saying? We got Derek Burns in the comment section who be there with us. He's a little older than us, but to be honest, to have these conversations that I ain't gonna say taboo, but being transparent and hoping
yeah.
somebody else gets something from it. Because now I do have people be like, yo, bro, I love when you had that conversation. I want to go back to Chris last week before we close out, because I tell you, one day I was at the Boys and Girls Club. We were coming up there to do an event, and a lady pulled up, grandma, and I'm talking about the music was banging. Bang, 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 bang. Then she got out, smoke come out, woof. Smoke come out. This grandma, and
Snoop
it was
Dogg here.
Bootsy. You know, Bootsy got a lot of N-bombs, bro, and the little kid in the thing. And I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And I was like, man, this grandma. So again, what we put into our kids. And last week we were talking about the N-word, and we were talking about, should we still be angered by it? Should we still be? Because I had a friend last week who quit the job because he was like, oh, I heard dude say the word nigga. And there was an emotional response. And he asked me, and I was like, well, bro, do you have another job? He's like, no. I'm like, well, okay, so the N-word, like I get it, but you gonna quit a job because you said N-word? He's like, I said, so did you file it? I'm like, no, I ain't filing no complaint because I ain't gonna okay, bro. Are you that bothered on that job to the point that you quitting, or it's the principle about it? And this is gonna be a debate between us, because I'm like, bro, I'm not validating what he said because that's who he is and that's how he felt. I appreciate when the other side showed me how they felt, but I'm like, you're gonna quit a job in this society off an emotional response. I said, did you go get another job and move on? But the only person going to be hurt from not working is going to be you. And I feel like a lot of times, even though we are heavily disrespected, we make an emotional decision and we react, and sometimes it comes back to bite us. But we'll look at the music and you hear the N word, but then you see movie directors say the N word. So I'm trying to figure out how to articulate. Should we still be outraged, or is it more about who said it, or when they said it, and how they said it? And the best thing about this, last week, Chris Gate took us on a journey. He was Aristotle last week, man. So I want you to share your thoughts again, because I think that kind of always opens up our dialogue. Because if you say ER, you probably don't get your teeth knocked out. But I understand the culture allows a lot of people to facilitate that word in many different ways. But everybody has their own take. And I remember a long time ago, I was watching a movie called Blazing Saddles, and Chris walked out. Chris said, I done heard this white man say N-word 5 times. I'm out of here. But it was a comedy. But I was surprised. He was like, I'm out. So take us on that journey, Chris. I'm sorry to ramble on, sir.
It's all good. Well, I think that I'm conflicted by it because I think it has a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? It was first used to demonize us, and a lot of the power was given to them. The people that oppressed us and tried to use the word. But I think that now that we have more power in it, and I don't want to go with that crappy excuse of, well, we used it and turned it to this, and I don't want to do that. I just want to say that we have power in it now. When other people use the word, they can get fired for the word, and we can't get fired for the word. People use it on television; they can do their job for it, and we can do it, and it's not same thing doesn't happen. So I understand that, but I also understand this community, this woke community that wants to the black people stop using the word towards them. And I respect that. But what I want to say to that community, that woke community that's the black community that want you to stop using it towards them, I just want to say give us time, because it's unnormal. It's not normal to us. I can respect the fact. I can respect that fact. Just come at us and say, hey, look, brother, I don't want to use that word no more. Because if you guys remember, around 2000, 2001, something like that, I started this replace that word with my brother. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a term that I no longer wanted to call my homies and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We went from dog to N-word. I want to call you my brother now. So what I would say to those people that have an issue with the other races using it, what I would say to them is, let's stop making it comfortable, because what I see is we say it, and we say it amongst each other, we say it around them, and we may even call them that. You got to understand that they can start to get comfortable with it, so now they think that it's okay for them to use it. Mm-hmm. If I feel like if you're gonna let it give that type of power and that type of reaction out of you, which I don't suggest you lose a job because somebody said the word, not even said the word to you, but said the word, I suggest you stop creating the environment where it's cool. You stop creating the environment where, people think that they can say it to you. You know what I'm saying? I've worked on many jobs. I don't say it on my job, especially around people that, that I don't want to say it to me, because I know I'm sorry, I do get it does get a reaction out of me, an emotional reaction out of me. So that's why I don't say it to people around people that I don't think that I want to say it to me. But I also have the knowledge to understand when people are trying to weaponize it against me, and I won't let them weaponize it against me. I think that I can outsmart them. As far as us, though, I believe that we can police ourselves. Most of the times, you're gonna have some ignorant people, but most of the time, we're not going around OGs and older women using the word. You know what I'm saying? We police it the way we should police it. So I just don't want it to be where the higher power gets to police it, where no one can use it now. And now you're at a job where you're getting fired for using the word, and you are a black man. Like Horace said the last show about the cop off duty getting fired for it. So I definitely don't want them to regain power for it and then start to strike us down, because they hold all the power positions basically. So it's a double-edged sword, man. I also think it has to be put into context. Words have to be put into context. The word baby, sweetheart, and honey is nothing wrong with those words. But if you call another man's wife that, it's all of a sudden it's an issue. So a lot of these words is we have to put them into context. We can't just throw it out there and make a blanket rule for everybody because it doesn't apply to everybody. So I don't think it's a one answer for this. I don't think it's a one scenario that'll work out, but I just think that if you don't want people to use it around you, don't use it to them. And I do agree with Horace, don't lose your job because someone said the word. If someone says to you, go through the precautionary steps that it takes to get those people reprimanded or even get them out of there, because again, it does have enough power to get people completely fired. Use that power, execute that power, and keep that power within us in that word. But respect the black people that no longer wants to use it. But Horace, what you got?
Now, I was going to say, man, before I go to Mario, the ER. So it's just, when you research the word, it's amazing how they took it. It's an Ethiopian term that meant king, and they turned it into something else. Yeah. And they turned that around. But the thing that gets me with that ER on the end, oh, man, I don't care who says it. I have a black girl that will say it. I just look at her like, what is wrong with you? It's something that triggers me with that ER on the end. With the culture, you hear the N word with the GA on the end all day and night. You know what I mean? But to your point, the officer that was off duty, riding home, his body cam picked up him saying the N word, talking to his wife, and this man still has not got his job back. It's one of those moments where, we can't say it. People in power showing you how to, so. But I listen to the music. So I just don't want, my point was talking to the young man last week saying, bro, you're going to quit your job. We can't play chess. You're going to quit your job. What they're doing for the cause. FPL don't care. Your rent man don't care. So we got to start getting to a point where, like they did that to that man, if it was such a big issue, young man, you should have went to HR, which I ain't gonna say is always gonna be rewarding because you might get blackballed and blacklisted. But do it the right way and go and say, hey man, this dude said the N-word, blah, 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 file a complaint or whatever. So Mario, I give it back to you, man, because
I think the word, as we use it right now, is so widely used because of hip hop. I think in 1970, hip hop was introduced, but it was pretty much beats, bebopping, and poetry really over, arrangement, party music. 1986 was when we introduced the gangster rap, and the N-word slid in there a couple of times, but most of that was about justice, power to the people, and F the police. That was the main thing. Then the 90s came. The 90s came, and here we go. And I think the switch came from, if you watch any documentaries, because before it used to be poets getting funded by gangsters, and that was the rap game. In the 90s, what happened is the gangsters said, man, why I keep giving this dude my money when I can just go rap because he rapping my life? So now we got people who are not poets, so they don't have a large vocabulary. So they use their everyday vocabulary and just put words and start twisting them. And so now we see cut corners to not being, I hate to say it, but uneducated as much, start getting money and facilitating a rap career. So here we go with this word, and it's all the words that we misuse throughout the rap songs. What happens is through sales and the people who over the industry, we made this word, so now we selling concerts out. And now most of the people who are in these concerts, because the ticket's so high, is what? White people. But in the crowds, you're not checking them because you see the crowds of these concerts, they say every word for word. But if it's a 30-word song, 12 of them is nigga, bitch, or hoe. So when you get to that, what happens is you become so fond and so it becomes so repetitious that you're saying it to now. you all the time until a dude check you, until you know what I'm saying, you feel like amongst your friends, until you get that straightening, you're gonna think it's acceptable because when you in the crowd bouncing around and everything going on, nobody saying nothing to you. When you're at the basketball court and you slip and say it, nobody said it to you. But then you bump into somebody like one of us, and then you get hit in your mouth. And then you like, whoa, what happened? It's a misuse of the words. But I want to say this. I think that what Tootie was using is a good example of how, and Chris was talking about losing your job. But see, being a manager, my job, I've seen that I had to check guys because it's other managers of different complexion who work with us. And the guys in the warehouse don't know when to use it and when to not stop using it. To the point where like, bruh, y'all two are over here calling each other niggas, but y'all two are black. But then a white man walks in and he hear y'all calling each other niggas and he's offended. Like, wow, how can they use that word? Like, I'm like, bro, I have to come check y'all to tell y'all stop saying nigga to the top of your voice. You're at work and not on the corner because a white man feels offended that two black guys are calling each other niggas over the warehouse. But you see what I'm saying? So it's almost go back to them same principles of like, bro, we don't know. You don't know when to turn it off, when to turn it on. If you choose to use it, you don't know. It's no law. Everybody just doing anything they want to, and it's in the black community. And it's crazy that so many days I have to tell black men, bro, you can't talk like that here. But then you're right. Those same men, if that white guy who has complained that, bro, I don't want to hear that word being used here, was to say it to them, they'll lose their mind. Want to blow him up, beat him up, but that's the guy who's complaining about you using it because y'all don't care about y'all using it to each other. It's a crazy thing, and that N word is just so I don't know, man. I try to take your approach, Chris, as much as I can, but I listen to rap music too, and I get pulled in. So I want to be a hypocrite and say I don't use it, but as in conversation with guys, I try to say my brother as much as I can.
Well, I just say before Zay go, I want to say here's the golden rule. Use it the way white people use it amongst themselves, in the privacy of their own home, and maybe it might slip out every once in a while when you're emotional. But just use the white people approach. Zay.
And use it at your own risk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big time. You're right, Chris. I was just thinking we got to start leading by example. Like you said, we amongst each other say my brother a whole lot. You know, try to steer away from that nigga narrative. However, it's very prevalent from where we came from. It's a term of endearment. So you know, it's a slippery slope. You can't say it and then get upset when somebody else say it. I'm desensitized to it to a degree. You can say it like Mario said at your risk. You might get smashed behind it. So just be prepared for the pressure that come behind it. But it's never ever okay. And it's never ever okay for us. And it's damn sure not okay for y'all. Don't do that shit. I'm be real with you. I don't advise it. Yelp is not good. That's gonna be what I report for that. But
we are living in a time where, have you ever heard Puerto Ricans talk? That's what they call each other. You can't even call a Puerto Rican the Chico no more.
Like Derek just said though, to me, it's an ignorant person.
I heard two Chinese people calling each other niggas.
I heard white people calling themselves that.
It's the culture.
There you go.
I said it's rap. Cause see, they think it mean dude. Like nigga and dude to some people is coincided because it's been so accepted and it's not taboo no more. Because a lot of people not getting taught to hate the word nigga because they're not getting taught from a hateful place, but they hear it so much that they think it's just like saying bro. Dude, because if you white and you don't have a racist parents, then you're not getting taught the true meaning of nigga like that with that hatred and that passion behind it. So you don't feel like you're not using it in that way. You feel like, well, shit, that's what y'all call each other, and that's how you get slipped. And I always say, men, this. I hear women call each other bitches all the time. I dare not call a woman that. So if I can do that, a white man better use his same discretion when he's using that word.
Or be punched in the mouth. I mean, it's either or because it's gonna happen.
What do y'all say about the mouth tonight? But what do you think about the black friend that allows the use of the word with his white friends? I think some circles like that.
I ain't your black friend.
I think we've all been guilty.
No,
you gotta remember. You gotta remember. No, you looking crazy, but you gotta remember something. Where did white boy Donnie grow up? What did we call white boy Donnie? What did our parents call Cracker Donnie? And it was all right. And he said, "What up, dog? What up, my nigga?" Da, 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 all the time. And how many times did we check Donnie?
I don't recall.
Oh yeah, I thought so. It's
I
okay,
don't recall such.
because we do this is selectively. We selectively let individuals do this. We grew up with Donnie. Donnie is all that we saw. He saw and we saw. So we didn't feel offended when he said it. We might be like, hey, but he never put the ER on it either. He knew how to slide it because he knew the terminology. Never made it all right. But again, we were younger. We didn't know no better. So like I said, we were desensitized to where we heard it. Now, as adults, if we hear that, if Donnie was alive, God bless the dead, we probably would check him.
And I'm saying, and that might have happened because I don't think you, as long as I know you, to be a liar. So I'm thinking it definitely probably happened. I'm saying it didn't know. I put like this. I didn't notice it enough to say, yeah, but Donnie just called me a nigga.
No, because he pulled up, what up, whatever, however he said. But again, it's going to be discussion. So we're not looking at it that way versus somebody we didn't know or have feelings for saying it. Like, hold up. Now, if he did say it, I'm quite sure, hey, you know what I'm saying? You can't slide that one too many more times. But we didn't apply pressure to him.
But we got to be.
That's the only reason why I'm saying that.
But I said that's our fault then. We set Donnie up then. Because what happened is we did that then. Donnie was our friend, then we were setting him up.
But we grew. Because if Donnie was alive, God bless his head now.
He felt comfortable with saying it to us. And he go outside our circle. And somebody said, then we set him up because we made him feel like it was okay to use that word. And so I'll think this: if you have a white friend and you love them, you do them no justice by letting them use the N-word to you. So they might think that, hey, my best friend let me use it, and then it meets Zay, and we all know what Zay is gonna do.
Punch him in the mouth. but we also got to understand that, man. I went to Dwight, and it was predominantly white. Most of the black people that I know didn't even know white guys' names. They just call them white boy, like over and over again. And we never thought of how insensitive that is, how messed up that is that you call this man white boy, and you really care for him, but you don't even call him by his name. Hey, boy, white boy, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta put some.
We gotta take ourselves.
No, we definitely did, and you're right. We definitely called him Cracker Donnie. That was an autonomous name for his whole throughout the neighborhood. Damn. Like if he came by the house, Cracker Donnie stopped by with his raggedy Mustang. Like so, I'm saying I understand what you're saying. It's like but and I understand what you're saying because in Donnie way of living, I believe he cared about us as black people more than he ever did any white person. I think every time he went up there to Jupiter Farm and everything, he always came back like, bro, I got somebody for you, dog. He was like the spook that's set by the white though.
That's right. That's right.
Donnie had a box Chevy.
Donnie had a box Chevy and a grill. And it was real. He ain't had no pull out. So he was comfortable amongst us. He actually thought he was.
Derek Burns said, how do we go from blacks to African Americans? Well, thank Jesse Jackson for that. We'd have been brown, black, colored, everything under this thing. Oh man, Salika did put one out, and that is the
Cracker J. Forgot about Cracker J.
Listen,
no, but I'm saying but you had no point. But I'm saying I always feel like this. At the end of the day, your parents put you in our neighborhood, so so for all the reparation, like what you gonna do? Tell me to start calling you? Like that's your name.
It's definitely the name.
And I'm sorry that I don't feel sorry for it, but that's
because it was another J. Sorry, Jay. You had to be Cracker J. We had to distinguish between the two.
But
I cannot use that word. I've never been able to use it. And I had a captain that was his name.
What word?
Cracker. His name was Cracker Reese.
What? I'm talking about Rich.
I'm a Graham all the time.
I'm talking about
team.
Man,
I let that thing flow.
I might even get a little sophisticated and say Cracker Litton.
Saltine.
Let me say something, guys. You guys were not, and it's not your fault. You guys were not able to get an education at Suncoast Community High School, located in Riviera Beach, one of the
You're
top
lying.
5 high schools
I've
in
been
the
kicked out
nation.
of fine establishments.
They didn't go there, but they didn't go there, but he was there a lot. So
And you are a damn lie, sir. I am on the roster. Thank
you
you.
were.
I
Listen,
agree. I decline gracefully.
listen. When we close out, man, I'm gonna tell y'all. Be honest with y'all. I struggled this week. I struggled this week, man. And one of the funniest stories we ever had revolved around this person. I had been in my feelings about losing one of our dear friends. He's hard to describe. His name was Lil Man. Yeah, I mean Gainer. His name was Lil Man, and Lil Man kept us in trouble all the time.
Amen.
And I had just seen him. It's funny. He had been on my mind all month. He pulls up on me at the gas station. It was early in the morning, so I don't even know if he went to sleep that night before, but he was
Probably not.
Cooter de brow. But when he seen me, he gave me a hug, fell on me, like, bro, I love you, boy. I ain't seen you. And he always said, man, come see me. No, I'm never going downtown like that. So whatever. But he lost his life. And I think his nephew got killed the day before. And in Riviera, in South Florida, this time of year, man, we almost turned to baby Chicago with some of these senseless murders. And if you're out on the streets, I mean, that can easily happen, man. But I really been struggling with losing that brother. I know what, his day-to-day entail, but I really gonna miss him. I just been struggling with it, man. As we grow older, we're losing people on some of the most craziest stories, but to lose him is something I've been battling with all week. But the younger me, just like we telling kids not to cut the crime and the gun violence, the younger version of us would have been riding. We would have been in the car. Who did it? We going to see. We're gonna do something till we feel better. We're not those people anymore. But I must say, man, I miss that brother. So
I think not to cut that off, because definitely Little Man will be missed. But what Salika said, once again, you got babies with no father.
yeah.
Again.
We are needed. We are needed.
Listen, I'm going to Zay on the closing out, man. But there was a story that we had on Thursday Street where I don't know why people thought I was gonna be Mike Tyson, but the boys got into it with somebody, and all of us were just scattered during the day. Quisto, we was all scattered during the regular day. Either everybody in front of Mario house, we on the corner, or we somewhere. In this moment, we were all scattered, but we usually come together. And I went home to wash dishes. There's an old other story, but I was quite domesticated. And I get a doorbell ring, a ring at the doorbell. And I looked at the doorbell and I couldn't even focus. I say, something wrong with the doorbell. I looked again and say, whoa, this can't be. And I opened the door and I see my friend. Have y'all ever seen the episode of Martin when Tommy Hurd was
Damn.
I opened the door and this man was looking like that at the door, and he said, "What was his words, say?"
Hey man, let's go get them too. We gotta go get them niggas.
And what I said to him,
oh no. No.
I told my bro, I said, if they did that to you, what they gonna do to
me? And said, oh no, and close the door. Man,
I didn't want none of that, boy.
God,
if they did that to you, my brother. What they gonna do to me? Don't be getting me all hyped up. They beat this man till his ear was bleeding. And the funny thing is, we laughed about that story to this day. I said, if they did that to you, what you think they gonna do to me?
And you know what's crazy? Not to ramble on. God, God bless my dog, may his soul rest. But we would talk about that same scenario on 30th Street under the light pole years after that. And he would laugh and be like, man, yeah, too, then you left me for dead. Them niggas had to keep saying the same thing for years. I'm talking about this been since high school. Going, dog, they did that to you. I never in my life ever, and I love my dog to death. I've never seen a person with two black eyes. How Everything was uneven. I don't even understand. Turtle. Matter of fact, you said we didn't go to Suncoast. Me and Norman were leaving from Suncoast, and Turtle had caught us coming out the little cut, going, "Hey, boy, you need to go check on your homeboy." We talking about who? We just came from seeing girl. He go, "Little man and blind." Hey, what happened? He talking about some ooh, ooh, ooh. That was all he said. And when we seen him, well, we were cartoon characters, and our eyes could have got big and came out. Oh man, God, but man. I love my dog, like you said, Tudor. He always kept us in something, always, especially when he moved here from downtown to Revere and we went to Gardens. We had to fight every day just because he was our friend and he was from downtown, and downtown and Revere did not get along. So I wish that things would have been different with my brother. I hate that happened to him. Also, the poor babies, like Sleeka said, over the weekend. We also had our own tragedy, like we said, with the young lady, the Jasmine, in the back seat of her father's car, a young boy in Miami. Here, a young boy right on S Avenue here locally. I think that was 34th Street or 37th Street, because so many shootings have been happening. Was in his bed, didn't have nothing to do, and y'all out here like Soldier Slim said with that wild gunfire. Jokers got guns and can't even shoot them. But that comes from fathers not being there, because you know what white people do with their kids? They teach them how to shoot straight. At least they hit their target. You feel me? So we as fathers got to go back to what you said, Chris. We got to be there, and we got to teach. Yeah, we got to be there, and we got to teach the right way, not this foolishness that we see going on, this disrespect, this looseness. It has to be some type of structure. It got to be more guys than just me and my friends on this panel that want to be fathers and actually want to be active in our kids' lives and do something for them that somebody probably didn't do for us.
And there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us. I'm not going to say that because there's a lot of us, but we do need to promote it more. We do need to encourage them more, and we do need to have more of these conversations.
Definitely.
Yeah. Shout out to the others that's doing it. Like I said, Lee My Goldmine. I like his show, the Gentleman's Tips and whatnot, man. I'm going to close the comments. I'm going to Chris, the sophisticated Leo, first.
Oh man, thank you guys for showing up again on a Monday night. But I'm gonna do a selfish plug. I'm in my hustle. I'm in my hustle mode. So y'all can get these t-shirts. Y'all can get the this is a hoodie. Y'all get this hoodie. Y'all get these t-shirts.
I got the t-shirt.
I'm also slanging real deal top end cologne. Right here we got the Creed Aventus. Y'all need to get this. Now this right here, this bottle here, $1,100. You don't want to spend that, but what you can do is get the little pocket rocket. The little pocket rocket for the 25. I got you. You know what I'm saying? This is real deal stuff though. Receipts and all. You know what I'm saying? So whenever y'all want to holler at me, hit the DM. I got you. You need to smell good, and we're gonna be coming out with a Father's Day player pack that you gotta cop. And it's not just for men, ladies. You need to cop this for your man, for the father in your life, for the potential father in your life, or the person that just shot up the club. Whatever you want, what you want.
Chris,
thank you.
Make sure you do the sports tops. I see a lot of girls go jogging with the little sports tops, the little sports bras. Black Super Friends across the front.
Okay.
I got you. And you know
we're gonna look at the rack. Free market.
Yeah, because we're looking at the heart. It's all.
That's what it is. We want to see what's inside.
Yeah, through their eyes.
Ladies, man, who keep putting his cup up in the front of the damn camera. I don't know. Is it Greek? Zay cutest.
Hold up.
Whoa.
I can't read that crap.
You got on bifocals? Jesus Christ.
What does it say, Zay?
Well, it says Zay Cuts. 365. I mean, he's a hustle. 365.
That does not say cuts.
It don't say what you said, and you better not ever say that again.
I definitely don't believe that.
As a grown man, don't call me cute. I love you to death. Don't ever say that again.
I ain't called you cute in 35 years.
But hey, well, good.
Even since that Easter when you had the corduroy jacket.
Borrowed it from you. All my style came from you, a hand-me-down kid. You're my older brother.
Oh, so you take responsibility for the crushed velvet jumper?
That's the one outfit I don't ever want. I think you still got it. It came on a one-piece hanger. It was
still in my closet. It's still in my closet too.
I know you don't throw anything away.
It's right next to the Heath Neffner.
You still got them long jean shorts that come down to the calf and all.
Wore them yesterday.
Got Echo Billboard shirts. I know.
That
We ain't got
far.
Echo no more. Don't do the man like that. So before I was so rudely interrupted, I was thanking everybody for coming out and taking part in the conversation that we had on the Black Super Friends podcast. I love my guys dearly. We like to joke. Cut it out, Mia. I thought we were friends. I really thought we were friends. Don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all gonna let Chris promote, then when Zay promote, y'all got jokes. I tell you, it's something against the black man. I don't know what it is, man.
Some forgery and a potato salad.
I hate it. But yeah, no, we definitely appreciate you guys. We always ask you the same thing each and every time. It costs you nothing to support us. We ask you to share, tag a friend, to tag another friend. Come check out Zay Cuts. But if you want to say Zay Cute, if you're not a dude, it's all right. I'll take it. I'm a grown ass man though, so you got to change that at some point in time. Check out Chris. He got $25 pumps of that Creed. Some of y'all got that Stimmy. If you ain't blew it all, check him out.
Real deal. No oil base, no none of that. Real deal.
Which one is that? The latest?
This is the Ventus. Yeah. Wait till I drop this Tom Ford on you though. Ooh,
that's my killer.
Wait till I drop this Tom Ford though.
Well, that boy ain't playing. But definitely, thank you guys, and we appreciate you. What you got, Phone Heart?
Hey man, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just to echo what everybody else have been saying, for y'all coming out on another Monday night and support the hustle. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we see so many men getting bashed in the news and in public, and when you see a funny meme with somebody or some man doing something so dumb, stupid, not paying child support, getting cussed out or something like that, we pass that around like it's the offering plate. So I think y'all should just tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend about these men as they, trying to solicit good, honest working businesses. You know what I'm saying? These are fathers of black men who pouring back in the community. So everything they do should be understanding that that's helping us as a community. So the Black Super Friends are here for y'all. We know it's a shortage on good heterosexual men who don't mind saying they're heterosexual without a caveat. So we're gonna say it and say it proud. We're gonna even have Black Super Friend shirt to say heterosexual black men, just for the one that want to say it say it with their chest. But I want to say thank you to that, and I want to if you wasn't here last weekend, I want to kind of beat this in. I did quite a few home inspections last week, thank God, and I was able to talk to a bunch of people, and some of the people I did was black, and I talked to this black couple, and they were just telling me the ins and outs, and I was working. Well, me and Horace had been talking while he was purchasing his home, just about the ups and downs and the ins and outs. I'm a home inspector, so he was asking me about different stuff. And I was talking to them, and I was like, man, it's still so real. Systemic racism is hitting us on every corner. And I really want to just beat this in. I don't want to go off topic, but understanding home ownership is so important. And understanding, like, those little steps that we're doing today to get yourself right, like budgeting, credit, understanding assets over liabilities, like starting investment groups. Not only just come and have tea and have girl power or man club or cigar powers, but y'all often throw $10 in and support somebody, start something like that. Because right now in our community, we never going to be able to make a change and have the fortitude to ever somebody to even listen to what we say unless we have economic power. And that's going to start one by one with us reaching each other, teaching each other, and starting those groups. And I want to say that to dispel the rumor that it's a lot of young black people buying houses. A lot. It's a lot of them in them first-time home ownerships. It's a lot of people getting their credit right. It's a lot of them delayed gratification, sacrificing, and making this thing. So I know that generation that our grandmas had houses, then it became a generation of us losing houses. I want to say I'm optimistic, and I'm not too optimistic a lot of times, but I'm optimistic about this, and that we want to keep this trend going of telling everybody. And that's why I just want to keep saying, we here to help. All of us have inboxes. We have went through so much. Our money will run out before our wisdom do. So please, if y'all need any help, we have 4 men on here who are trying to do our best to help y'all at any level. And if I know somebody who can help, we're all a reference away. So thank y'all for tuning in to us on another Monday night. And don't feel ashamed. It's confidential. If you want any help with anything, trust me, we have a lot of resources that we could pass your way. Thank you.
All right, closing out, guys. I want to first thank everyone that hits the share button. I know the algorithm with Facebook, we share a link to Facebook. So some of you guys watch us through Facebook, and that algorithm is always changing. But make sure you hit the share button or even send the link to a few friends and messengers, the new way to get around it. Get the link and just send it to tag a couple friends, and it'll show up that way. You get the hit. Second off, I want to thank my best friends on this cast for there's certain topics that come up, man, and I love it when you guys take the breaks off. Shout out to Derek Burns for always tuning in and supporting our show.
Big
Uh,
Yep.
Thank you guys, for being transparent tonight and being that's what probably makes the show so good. We didn't have a new sponsor tonight, so Chris, you know, it, your
my
passion.
bad, my bad, my bad.
I just, when we get sponsors, I say, listen, I got one guy you need to know about from the get go. But again, those are the conversations we're not having. Talking about men and just that's what men do, having nuts, but making other jokers stand up.
Right.
It's what you got to do. You got to have other conversations. So I thank
Accountability.
y'all guys for keeping that real dialogue today. The same conversations that y'all give people out in the city, in the streets, is the same thing that you guys have been bringing to this platform. And I do love you guys for that. Next Monday, who knows what Monday Night Raw will be about, but I want y'all to join in. But please hit that share button or take the link and send it to a few people in your inbox. There's new
Right.
people need to see that. And this show was probably one of the best that we did in a while. So let some of your people that you know need to see this, hear this, because it's real. The gospel and ministry come in many forms. So shout out for Black Super Friends. We'll see you next week.